Your son.
Plot twist, dámy a pánové. Takže jo, tohle je prakticky hlavní klička v příběhu, v hlavním příběhu Fallout 4, že Shaun, protože my jsme byli vlastně zmražený, pak tam bylo to přerušení, kdy si Kellogg přišel pro toho malého parchanta. No a pak je další zmražení a nikdo neví o kolik let později a takhle, takže to nakonec dopadlo takhle.
It's really you. After all this time.
Yes. It's true. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
But why? Why take a child? Why take you?
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Human synths? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So, you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
But, Director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position, obviously. I've lived my life within these walls, dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Maybe. I don't know. This is so much to take in.
I know. And I am sorry. You have been through so much in such a short time. The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
Are you sure you want this?
Yes, I am. It would benefit us both to work together.
I just don't know.
Just give it time. Give the Institute a chance. The Institute is now your home as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in advanced systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Takže tohle bylo brutální sousto v hlavním příběhu Falloutu 4, kdy jsme zjistili, že tohle je ve skutečnosti Shaun, dítě, který nám vzali na začátku, jenže uběhlo 60 let, takže to s ním vypadá teďko tak, jak to s ním vypadá. Stal se otcem celé instituce, řídícím vlastně ředitelem a momentálně se snaží, nebo se už hodně dlouhou dobu snaží, kvůli tomu ho oni vzali, protože on byl děcko, který bylo ideální pro jejich experimenty. Oni hledali někoho, oni chtěli vytvořit vlastně human-like synthy, čili synthy, které by byly prostě na základě lidí, ne jakožto stroje, ale na základě lidí, a předloha pro ně byl právě tady Shaun, protože Shaun byl jeden z mála, který vůbec nebyli vystavený radiaci, protože byl 200 let zavřený vlastně v tom voltu a bylo to ještě malý dítě, takže je ideální subjekt přímo pro ně. Takže teďko nám tady chce ukázat něco důležitého, protože instituce Prej tady přišla na kloup něčemu hodně významnému a on chce, abych já tady byl u toho. Takže, výborně, mají tady náboje dole v instituci, yeah! Instituce je super! Teda, chci říct, uvidíme, jak se to tady bude vyvíjet, já se v tom nejdřív musím začít orientovat. Výborně, to už vypadá líp. Je to tady všechno takový trošičku moc pozitivní. Špinavej synthe, ještě uvidíme.
Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust? Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled, we can use your components to make something that's actually useful. The rest see me as little more than a glorified repairman. But I'm as much a scientist as any of them.
To je skvělý, pane Hicks, jsem rád, že si tady léčíte svoje osobní, ale... Ne, korseři. Jednoho z vašich kolegů jsem dostal, řekl bych docela šťavnatým způsobem. Tohle mi připomíná, co mi to jenom připomíná? Tohle mi trošku připomíná takovou verzi Rapture z Bioshocku, protože Rapture bylo vytvořený proto, aby tam lidi a vůbec celkově prostě lidi, kteří byli ty nejlepší z nejlepších ve svých oborech, hlavně vědci, ale samozřejmě i herci a různý lidi, kteří tam byli extrémně talentovaní, tak Rapture mělo být místo, kde bez jakýchkoliv morálních věcí a takhle mohli dělat to nejlepší, vymáčknout ze sebe maximum vlastně pro tu civilizaci, pro tu skupinu, která tam byla, ale nakonec to celý selhalo potom, když tam začali využívat ty určitý supersíly, ale to je o úplně jinačí herní série, jenom říkám, že tohle mi to trošku připomíná, protože je to vlastně celá uzavřená komunita, která je tady pod zemí, která se snaží kontrolovat to, co je nahoře, a zkoumá si tady svoje věcičky bez ohledu na to, co se děje nahoře a bez ohledu na to, jestli to je úplně morálně správný nebo takhle, vytvářet tady lidský synthy a takhle. Každopádně, dámy a pánové, tohle bude pro dnešní epizodu všechno. Já vás nechám, abyste to hezky zpracovali, abych to já zpracoval a do příští části já si najdu nějaký informace o tom, kdy teda je ten úkol, protože já myslím, že teďko, jakmile vylezeme z té instituce, tak komu to půjdeme ohlásit, jestli to půjdeme ohlásit Brotherhood of Steel, jestli to půjdeme ohlásit Railroadům, nebo Minutemenům, tak, nebo samozřejmě zůstaneme věrný té instituci, to jsou tyhle 4 frakce teda ve Falloutu, tak já myslím, že potom už se spustí vlastně, tak jakoby se to uzamkne a už si nebudete moct ten hlavní vlastně příběh, ten konec hlavního příběhu změnit a pojedete ho prostě za tu frakci až do konce. Každopádně díky moc za sledování, vpravo nahoře máte Fallout 4 playlist tlačítko, kde najdete všechny epizody, celý týhle Let's Play série od začátku až do konce dohranou celou hru. V popisku pod videem je hnedka nahoře odkaz na herní obchod X-Zone, ty seš ale hnusák, úplně jak ze špatný plastiky tady. Je tam samozřejmě odkaz na herní obchod X-Zone, kde můžete pořídit jakýkoliv hry, jak na PC, tak na konzole, já z toho vždycky mám pár procent provizi, takže děkuju moc. Jinak ještě v popisku je samozřejmě i obchod, kde můžete zakoupit trička a mikiny s mýma motivama, pokud chcete něco trošičku hováckýho na sebe, takže děkuju taktéž. A poslední věc v popisku je samozřejmě facebooková stránka. Takže díky moc, nezapomeňte, že každý z nás je jak trošku hovado, já to do příště zjistím a uvidíme, co tady ještě pro nás mají připravenýho, takže nazdar!